we thought was going to die every time. Oh, here goes Danny going to school. Yeah, there's Dan. There's Jim. Dave is there. There's Tom. Oh, from those are uniforms from Founders. And look at old Frecky standing there. Isn't that cute? Oh, goodbye, Jim. Oh, look at those. They're goodbye, Dan. Oh, and you didn't cry yet, Dave. Goodbye, Tom. Poor Dave. Now, if he starts crying, it'll just round out the whole circle. There's Debbie. Oh, look how sophisticated she looks. I think maybe, Debbie's probably a senior in high school. There's Grandma Berger and me, and that is Grandma and Grandpa Berger's house. There's Uncle Milton, for heaven's sakes. And look at Debbie. Look at the hairdo. I love it, Deb. You look so sophisticated. Look at Grandma in her house dress. And there's Dan. Isn't that Dan? Oh, with Pierre. No, that's Dave. I'm really losing it. That's Dave with Pierre. Yeah, that's Dave. Oh, yeah, that expression he still has. You know, exactly. And you know who has that expression? Little Bobby does that same thing. That's incredible. Yeah, that's Dave. He's getting ready to go to kindergarten. Oh, goodbye, David. That was the baby. Good grief. Maybe Grandma was crying at that point. Or else I was putting on my hat and running out thinking, my God, because Debbie started college when Dave started kindergarten. So that was the first time I was home alone. And I got to tell you, I kind of liked it. Look at that. My gosh, I probably was out the door and running by the time that bus was out of sight. Nope, there, I'm still there. Oh, yeah, because Debbie, I guess, was ready to start out. Oh, he's coming home again. There. Now, he looks like he really had a good time. Oh, my God, remember this go-kart that you boys made? Look at the wheels on that sucker. Is that a stitch? Okay, now that was Tom on the bike, right? So that was Dan and Dave. Oh, we're back on the soccer field. That's David playing soccer. But I'll never forget, we went up to this little town up in the mountains that had this little stream running through it, and that's where they kept the soda and that you bought in this cold water, and the bottle opener was hanging from the tree above it. It was so cool. Now we're back to a soccer game, and that's David playing soccer. Very good, Dave. See, you didn't bother with the hockey, which was just as well we didn't have to buy another pair of hockey skates, because it was cheaper to buy those soccer shoes, I want you to know. Hey, that was pretty good. See, and now you've got Bobby playing soccer. And I wonder, I don't know if this is at Boar Park again, but I might just as well say it and be another boar with it. And see how cold it is, and you're all running around in those little shorts? Oh, that's pretty good, Dave, to do a little kicking. Now, I think you would have been in about the first or second grade at that point, because you've got a Seven Holy Founders uniform on. So you had to be at least in the first grade. Is this Tom with you that's kicking the ball? I don't know. That doesn't look like it. Tom, I think, would be older than that. I'm trying to think how much older Tom is than Dave. Oh, look at that. I'm telling you. You are going to run this continually, I can tell, Dave. You're going to show off with that foot and head coordination. Look at that. Heck, I've seen seals do that. Dave is wearing big green high-top tennis shoes. I remember those very well. And they went so well with the blue and yellow uniform. Look at that. Now we've got a game going. Now, you want to tell me which one is you, Dave? Let's see. I'm sure we didn't focus that camera on anybody else but our own. That looks like you, maybe. I've got to find somebody with green tennis shoes on. That's how I'll know it's you. Hey, that looked like a pretty sophisticated field. Look at the scoreboard up there. You know where I bet this was? This was out at Assumption, out there on Mattis Road, because they had quite a field out there. Is that you, Dave, trying to get that ball? Or is that you that just fell? That was you that just fell, Dave. But you stopped. Oh, the game is over. You know who that is? That's Steve Murphy with you, Dave. That's David, I can see, because he needs a haircut. And that was the era where you wore it just a little bit long. But, oh, hey, you're still pretty good. I'm telling you, I have a sneaky suspicion that we're coming near the end of... Okay. I think that this is coming near the end of the Burger Saga, but we've got to see Dave would you please get a goal at least, Dave, so we can go out looking really good. There you go. Get in there. You were always fast. But you're running the wrong way. I don't want to say anything, kid. Everybody else is going the other direction. Let's see now, where are you now? You're standing on the sideline. Oh, don't tell me they took you off the field. I think that's you. You know who that is with you? I think that's Jerry Braun, who ended up drowning when he was in college. I think playing soccer. So sad. He was such a good friend of yours, and it was so funny. Talk about Mutt and Jeff. Jerry Braun must have been 6 feet tall in 5th grade. There you go, Dave. Now, this is a different soccer game than you were in when you had the high-top green shoes, I think, because you don't look like you're wearing those high-top green tennis shoes this time. So maybe it's even a different year. Who knows? Okay, well, we're a little bit far away to pick out who's who. Ooh, I think you scored that, Dave. You did. I'm sure you scored that goal. Good for you. Let's see, raise your hand and do one of those flip-flops like they do in football games where they jiggle around and act like fools. I would guess you're about in the 2nd or 3rd grade at this level, maybe even 4th, but I don't think too much older than that. And which would have made you, what, about 10 perhaps in that age category, which would have been approximately 24 years ago. 25 years ago. Isn't that incredible? But they're probably still wearing those same uniforms at Seven Holy Founders. Come on, get it in there, guys. And that was Steve Murphy there, and who else was in that class? Agni, and you'll recognize, when you look at this film, Dave, you'll recognize all your little buddies. And I think, again, we're at Boer Park. And if we aren't, too bad. That's what I think it is. Oh, are you on the sideline again, Dave? I'm going to get upset. And I'm oh, there you go. Okay, now here's a parade from Seven Holy Founders. And I guess you were Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts at that time. And, oh, there's Father Mullane, for crying out loud. He was so neat. You decorated your bikes and you paraded for several blocks around the school. And the 8th graders got to ride in cars. Oh, there was Phil Winters again. There is Danny and David. Now, see, they were little kids then, because you kids were the bigger boys. Oh, look, we even had the Anheuser-Busch thing. There is another drum majorette, I tell you. They're all just making me feel bad. Looks like a sorry bunch of people. I don't know who those people are in those outfits, for heaven's sakes. This must be Debbie and Patty and Tom. Hello, Dave. Hello, Dan. What do you have there? Fans of some sort? Oh, balloons. And Deb and Tim, well, Patty and them, they must be on the on one of those. Maybe they were in the 8th grade by then. Debbie didn't graduate from Seven Holy Founders. So I don't think that was Debbie, unless that was a No, I don't think that was a Lady of Providence parade. Maybe it was. There's Patty going by in the convertible. When you're in the 8th grade, you're big time. Now we're back to Dan and Dave, who look there like they're just having such a special time. Now here are the boys in their uniforms. That looked a little like Tom or Jim when you were Cub Scouts, probably. And that was always a cute parade. And we used to have the biggest crowds at Seven Holy Founders. Oh, look at the nuns. We used to have such big crowds at Seven Holy Founders parades and picnics, because that was before they built Six Flags. And people from all around South County would come to their picnics because they had all these rides. That's me. What am I doing riding in a parade? I certainly didn't graduate from 8th grade. I think I was something in the sodality. And so I had to ride on the thingamajig. There's Dan and Dave again. I tell you now, see? You two thought you weren't on any movies at all. I don't want to hear any complaints about you forever again. You're just all over the place. There is Patty again. Patty with Dave. Oh, and there's Dave riding the ponies. That whole area back there, what used to be open, and then they built the new church over there. And that whole thing is all filled up now because that was before the new church was built. And that was right on the corner of Alliston and Rock Hill. And it was quite a large open field. But once they did all the building. Oh, you're quite a horseman. Where's that great big cowboy hat? You need that now. Oh, that was... Maybe that's where we got the hat, was from that guy. Look at those horses. I mean, do they look like tough ones or what? Oh, now we're home again. Oh, David is watering the lawn or the windows or whatever. Does he look like Dad, just the whole positioning? Oh, he's watering Blessed Mother. For crying out loud, Dave. Oh, now that's an interesting shot, isn't it? What the heck is that? Is that one of those rakes? You know what that is? That looks like this is at French Lick, which is in Indiana. And they have this pool that's enclosed in this, I don't know if it was glass or plastic, but you could swim in it for a long time. Dad and I went to French Lick with 4 or 5 couples. It was the cutest thing. I think it's still going, as you can see. You paid so much and you got all your meals, and there were several golf courses. I think that's George Closter getting out of the pool. And they had Pluto water, which was a natural spring, one of those things that was supposed to be health food that you soaked in. It was the most vile smelling thing that you've ever seen. It was like a tub full of rotten eggs. And of course they wanted somebody to taste it, and you can guess who did. That was dumb. I'd do anything for a laugh, I think, in those days. Thank God I've grown up. I wouldn't do that again. But it was a beautiful area. You could rent bicycles built for 2. You could go on horses. As I say, you could play golf. They had, I think, 2 golf courses. And inside they had a stage show at night and a theater. It was really cute. We just went for like 2 days, I think. You'd go on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. But it was nice. See, there's the horseback riding. I wonder if that's Bob riding. I don't think so, unless he dyed his hair. And that is, that a little horse carriage. It was really a lovely place. In fact, I keep thinking one day we ought to gather up the whole crew and do something like that, because it's all inclusive and there's something for everybody. You could get massages and all that kind of stuff too. It was kind of, they had all the health stuff there if you so desired. I can't believe that that I played golf then. I sure didn't play any better then. My eyes are too bad to read what that says.